COVID-19, why you do this to me? I really don't like being stuck in quarantine. I have no toilet paper, I don't even have a snack. Hey, coronavirus, I want my life back.
Okay, sorry, we're late. Parker, it's kind of dark here. We forgot the lights again. Alexa, studio setting. Oh. All right, Parker, you can leave. Alexa can take care of everything. I like that. All right. How's everybody doing? Feeling good. That kind of a summer kind of feel to the air. Hello, Isolators, and we're going to start with what we are grateful for right off the beginning. As usual, I'm grateful for 7 o'clock. I was looking forward to seeing everybody today. So I'm grateful for the beautiful weather, says Lori. How about some newbies out there? How many newbies? I'm grateful for the storm that missed my house. Was there a storm today? Somewhere? I'm not sure where. I haven't been watching the weather. We had nothing downtown. Only if we did. I mean, we could have something downtown. I wouldn't even know. Yeah. That's amazing. Hopefully that storm didn't affect too many people. Let me see. Good evening, Kevin and Parker. I'm grateful for a good book to read. What are you reading? Grateful people are social distancing in Innisfil. Well, as you saw, they weren't at Trinity Bellwoods Park yesterday. That was not good. So, folks, we can't do that. We can't give up now. We've gone this far to blow it. What else? I'm grateful for the rain today. Okay, I got to look at the weather radar. Hold on one second here because I'm completely oblivious. And that's the thing with social isolation, right? Is that you're distanced, you're not out in the elements, it could have rained here today. I don't know. So where was the, oh, okay, I see there's some pockets up near Barrie, looks like all through southern Georgian Bay, Aurelia, up north of us. It looks also down in Orangeville. Looks like a quite intense cell up in Barrie that's just about to get there as far as some thunder and lightning in that area. So we are into that season again. Yeah, it's kind of spotty. It doesn't look like we're going to be affected here in the city. I'm grateful for the hillbillies. All right, are we talking Beverly Hillbillies? What are we talking about here, Kelly? Sun shining in Woodbridge? Yes, it is. Yeah, it's shining downtown, a few clouds, but again, it feels like there should be a storm out here. We're going to get to your phone messages in a little while. A lot of people loved Daryl yesterday, didn't you? He was a great speaker, and he said he's going to come back on again, so we will have him back on. I'd love to have some of the questions for him, so we're going to take a look at some of your phone messages in a little bit, but today is a special day. Today is World Meditation Day, something that is near and dear to my heart, and I hope has become near and dear to your heart. We have really learned, haven't we, that in order to get through isolation, that meditation is key, and there are many reasons for that. If you're still not convinced, well, we're going to try and convince you still, because World Meditation Day, that means we are all, in a little bit, going to do a 5-minute meditation together. Reading Stephen King's Dr. Death. Okay, for a second there, I thought Stephen King had passed, but okay, no. So Dr. Death is what I asked earlier, my question. That's the delay in the questioning. So once again, I am thrilled that Patricia Rockman has agreed to join me once again. Hi, Patricia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well. What's on your shirt?
Oh, it's actually a kind of salamander that I got. I got the shirt in Mexico.
Oh, okay. So, well, happy Meditation Day. As a meditation guru, I guess we should wish you a happy Meditation Day. We should also wish a lot of our viewers a happy Eid al-Fitr. Eid al-Fitr. Sorry, got to get it right. And I know this is a tough one this year because you won't be able to be with a lot of loved ones and friends. We're with you, and I hope you're with us as well. We're in this together. It doesn't matter what your religion is, what your beliefs are. We're all in this together, and that means we can celebrate everything together. In fact, Eid al-Fitr, Pat, is something I would like to celebrate because it's all about eating, a lot of eating. So that's my kind of holiday. World Meditation Day. Why do we need a World Meditation Day?
Are you asking me?
Yes, I am now. I'm sorry. I did blather on there, did I not? I can have a conversation with myself. It's not a problem.
You know, I don't know why we need a World Meditation
Ah,
Day.
that's great. You're just getting the show off to a good start. There's no reason for it, folks. There you go. Okay.
No, I think it's an interesting idea, right? I mean, one of the things I guess a World Meditation Day can do for us is to bring attention to contemplative practices all around the world, of course, since it's called World Meditation Day. And that contemplative meditation practices come in a great variety, secular and not secular, so religious or not. And I think that it's interesting during this particular time that we've been having to slow down and in isolation. It very naturally, I think, moves our attention inward, like it or not. And part of, I think, meditation helps to bring awareness and attention to whatever is present and allows us to sort of stop and contemplate, how we're living, our attitudes, our state, and then perhaps be able to take a bit of a step back and think about are we living the way the best way we might be able to, I guess is one way of putting it.
Okay, so I know a lot of people here are meditating, and I know a lot of people have questions, especially if you've just started. So, Parker, can you help me alert when there's questions that come up? I can't always watch all the comments, but I would like to answer some questions because sometimes that lack of understanding can chase someone away from doing something that's good for you. So there are simple fixes here. One of the biggest problems, and we've talked about this before, is we don't feel worthy of meditation because we feel that we get too easily distracted and that our mind wanders. First of all, does it get better? Is it okay this happens? What do I do?
So I think there's misconceptions about meditative practice. And I think we can think of the umbrella of mindfulness that we kind of in the West and within the practice that I'm engaged in, that's really the umbrella. So then meditation is both formal and informal. So the formal is like you go sit in a chair, close your eyes, pay attention to your breath or whatever that might be. Informal is just bringing a particular kind of attention to whatever you're doing in any given moment. And that attention is intentional, like it's deliberate. And I think this idea of, should your attention wander when you're meditating or not is a good question because actually everybody's does. Thoughts will always arrive. Our attention will always move elsewhere. And it's not so much that we're trying to get rid of thoughts because we actually that doesn't really happen. I mean, our mind can settle, but really the point is to bring awareness to whatever is showing up. So if we're sitting in practice, it's not to get rid of all your thoughts and stay on the breath. It's to use that as an anchor, as a place to return, as a place sort of from which to witness experience, whatever's happening. And part of that will be that thoughts arise. And I notice I'm getting caught up in my thinking. I wake up to that. I come back to the breath. This is really the practice. It's not to empty your mind as people think. This really isn't going to happen.
I think that's really important to say. This is not about some incredible trance or some state that you need to be in, that you have to go to the top of a mountain in Nepal and sit beside a guru and go Om. Meditation is for everyone. And is it possible even to like I actually have done some meditating on the subway. Is that
right?
It's not advisable, but I mean I have like when I go up to York University, I have like about 30-minute ride, and it's good to meditate. I tried to meditate and immediate thoughts. Oh, okay, this is from Linda. Tried to meditate, immediate thoughts, did I shut off the stove? Did I lock the door? Etc., etc., etc. It's like your to-do list, right?
Right. So this is to be expected, right? So we notice that, there's there are, you know, task thoughts, if you like, or memory thoughts arising. Oh, or just thoughts are here, or labeling them thinking. And then if we're focusing on sensations of breathing or something else, okay, so now my job is to note that and then return my attention back to the breath. So
I just have to interrupt here because
yeah.
Mike Robbins added in Cochrane, you dozed off, Kev, that wasn't meditating. Okay. And remind me, I want to circle back to the dozing off thing too in just a moment because he brings up something I want to ask you. But I'm sorry I interrupted. I had to get that in.
No, it's fine.
Continue.
That's okay.
Continue.
No, that's good. That's all I wanted to say. That's
Okay.
good. Yeah.
So dozing off because
Yes.
you get yourself in a relaxed state.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm going to get back to Meredith's question in just a second, Parker, so hold on to that one for me if you could. Sorry, I got a million things going here at once. This is not a good place to be meditating right now with everything that is sensual overload. Sensory overload. Don't even ask me why I was thinking of sensual overload. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so
Dozing off.
there is a chance to doze off when you're meditating. You're so relaxed. Sometimes you do. Bad, good. Do you pick it up again when you wake up? What do you do?
So, you know, in the programs we teach, it's very common. Okay, this is one of this sleepiness is one of the gateways to practice, right? So sleepiness is common. In our culture, we tend to also be quite underslept. So if we do a meditation practice like body scan where we lie down, it's not uncommon that people fall asleep because the body lies down, it thinks, it's time to sleep, right? I have fallen asleep in many body scans. And, you know, so I think this sleepiness that comes is not uncommon. So, but if we argue that our task is to fall awake rather than asleep, then we have to make a decision about that. Like, am I going to take a posture that's going to encourage being awake and alert? Do I want to actually just have a nap? And if I'm making the intention to stay awake, then, you know, probably better not to lie down. Or there are various postures you can take to encourage wakefulness. So you might, or if you're sitting up, you know, it's not uncommon to start falling asleep when you're sitting as well. So, you know, there are things you can do to counter that. Take a deep breath, elevate the chest and the spine, you know, things like this. Open the eyes, raise your arms, stand up. So it's not good or bad. This is not the continuum that I like to work on, but it's more that, this arises, and then bringing awareness to that and then making an intentional decision about what I do next. Do I keep sleeping or do I work to wake up?
Okay, so we're going to go to Meditation 101 right now, okay? Why do we meditate? Why is it necessary? And why am I pushing it so much for people, especially during times of isolation and social distancing?
So, I mean, many people know that meditative practices are very old. And, you know, they came to the West through a variety of sources, but they came into healthcare in the late 70s and have been found to be useful for people with various chronic diseases, with depression, with anxiety, with chronic pain. So in terms of the context that we're in right now, I think one of the most important things meditation or mindfulness practice can help us with is to work with the kind of stress reactivity that arises from something like isolation, right? So there's the pain of the isolation itself for people that they don't, you know, it's uncomfortable or they feel lonely or we feel sad or whatever it is. But then there's everything else that we put on top of that. Like, this is the most horrible thing that could happen to me. I'm so miserable. I'm never going to feel better. What if I get sick? What if my parents get sick? Anyway, there's a million ways in which the mind it has a mind of its own, so to speak, and can just proliferate. And so the practice is important, I think, to bring us back to what is really going on in this moment, whatever it is, and to really start to try to be with what is here versus a whole bunch of ideas about it. So isolation is restrictive. This is true. And that may be painful. But then what do we add on top of that? I hate this. Who can I complain to? Where's the manager? They free me from my isolation. What, you know what I mean? I'm never gonna I want to go to a baseball game. What's wrong with it? You know, whoever created this virus, you know, it's all this kind of stuff. So this just increases our suffering.
Yeah.
So, and then with things like depressed states or anxious states, we tend to get caught in ruminative cycles where we think, you know, we worry or we think about something over and over again. If only it wasn't like this. And we get stuck in this pattern of thinking, which is really a kind of problem solving strategy that doesn't work very well. So mindfulness helps us to disrupt that.
Okay.
Hence, worry is here. Come back to the breath. Worry is here. Come back to the breath. Like this. Yeah.
Okay. Meredith asked, I'm going to get to Meredith's question. I promised I would ask for her. And then we're going to do a 5-minute meditation. All right, so prepare for that. We're going to do it together, everyone. I'm checking. You don't realize I can see through you've heard those stories about being able to see through people's laptop cameras and things like that. It's true. And I can see every single one of you. And for goodness sake, Mike, put some pants on. So Meredith is asking the difference between mindfulness. What was it? Difference between mindfulness and meditation. And I'm going to throw another one in there, cognitive behavior. So what is CBT, mindfulness, meditation, etc., etc., etc.?
Okay, so I would say I would describe meditation as the formal practice that we engage in, where you think of someone sitting on a cushion, cross-legged, or in a chair, for a limited period of time, where they are they're cultivating their attention on a particular object of focus, whether it's the body, the breath, hearing, seeing, whatever the practice happens to be. So I would describe meditation as formal practice. And there are many different kinds of meditations, like mantra-based meditations, where you're saying a word over and over again. This is a kind of meditation, but it doesn't work very well for depressed mood. And then mindfulness, there are many definitions for mindfulness. One is John Kabat-Zinn's, the awareness that emerges from paying attention in a particular way without judgment and with kindness. Another definition is paying attention. Mindfulness is paying attention to how we think, feel, emotionally, physically, how we behave and our impulses, and not controlled by our reactivity. And one other definition is not immediately judging things as good or bad, not privileging one experience over another. So cultivating equanimity. This is more mindfulness. You can think of more as a way of being that you are cultivating, although it also requires skill. And then, sorry.
No, keep going.
Cognitive behavior therapy. So cognitive behavior therapy, developed by Aaron Beck, is a form of a structured psychotherapy that looks at the meaning making we from experience. So it really looks at the content of our thoughts and beliefs about ourselves, others, and the world. And some of these are helpful and some of them are unhelpful. So it works at challenging and restructuring these and really trying to, cultivate, don't believe everything you think, which mindfulness does too, but in a different way, because mindfulness practice looks at our relationship to experience. Oh, I like this. I don't like this. I want this. I don't want this. Oh, how am I experiencing this? How am I meeting whatever this is? Whereas cognitive behavior therapy is looking at our thoughts and deconstructing those and how those are impacting our behavior.
Okay. All right. We are going to do a 5-minute meditation right now. So I'm going to let you take over. I want you to take over the class here. And all right, everybody, I want you paying attention. All right, so close the doors. Honestly, it makes a difference. there's no doing it right or wrong, really. So don't be judgmental on yourself. That's what I've learned. Just experience the moment. So, over to you.
Okay, so coming into a sitting posture, if that's comfortable for you, if that's okay. And if you're in a chair, your feet planted on the ground, floor. And if you're sitting on some kind of a cushion, you can cross the legs if you prefer, preferably having knees lower than hips. You want the chest rising and chin in line with the navel. Hands at rest in your lap or on your thighs. And then closing the eyes if that's all right. And turning the attention inward. And if you'd rather take a half open and receptive gaze, that's fine too, a few feet in front of you on the floor. And checking in with your current experience right now. Bringing attention to what thoughts are around, if any. Perhaps saying, oh, thinking is here. What emotions? And what body sensations? So checking in with what body sensations are arising from inside the body and outside the body, at the surface of the skin. Points of contact on the chair. Noticing sensations, whether they are wanted or unwanted or neutral. And if there are no sensations, noticing that. Bringing attention now to the physical sensations of breathing, where they're most available to you, at the nostrils, the chest, or the belly. And anchoring the attention here. Knowing that everything is part of the meditative field, thoughts, emotions, other sensations. But these, as best you can, are in the background. And the attention to the physical sensations of breathing are in the foreground. When you wake up to being carried off by a train of thought, we note that. Without judgment or story, and gently returning back to the body breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. And then once again, widening the attention to the body and any sensation it's showing here. And then letting go of this brief practice by opening the eyes and looking around the environment that you are in. Taking in a sense of sight, and then bringing your vision back to the screen.
Okay. All right, folks. How did it feel? Let's start. And again, it takes a while for the comments to that. It's more. I'm going to say it was very difficult for me because I was, I've got all this still going on, but I still was able to. I think 2 or 3 minutes of it really, really carried me away. If you don't, sometimes you get mad at yourself because you don't feel incredible after. Like you hear people say, "Oh, I feel so good," but if you don't, you get down on yourself.
Yes, but this is because we have an expectation about how it should be, like versus, oh, that's what showed up today. Today was an agitated meditation, or agitation is here.
Yeah, and so it is who we are. It is what it is, and what's going on. And maybe we shouldn't meditate. Maybe we shouldn't wait to meditate. I think you see most people, I'm sure, when they're troubled. So
yeah, nobody comes to see me when they feel good.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's talk to some people who do feel good right now, who don't meditate. Why should they?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I mean, it's not necessarily a panacea and it's not necessarily something for everyone. I think that if you're somebody who is curious about your experience and what it is to be a human being and wanting to kind of get to know what it is to be this thing that we call a person, then I think the practice really helps us to investigate our experience and really get to know the full range of our experience. I think it makes life richer. Obviously, I'm a convert. Certainly enhances the senses. It enhances our ability to take in each moment. It enhances both pleasure and I think our ability to tolerate distress. And also, life is full of both pain and joy. Someone once said, joy is the lull between problems. And so, one of the things practice does is, I think, enable us to be able to manage difficult and stressful times more easily, and also enhance our ability to take pleasure in each moment.
Everyone is, Diana's saying it's good to keep in a positive state, and that can help to turn us around and change us from that negative and that judgmental way to being a little bit more positive.
Yeah, but this is not necessarily the goal, right? Like perhaps sadness is here or anxiety is here. So, I think her point is that paradoxically, by paying attention to these states in a different way, by perhaps being able to just accept that this is how it is right now, paradoxically, our moods may change, but we don't have this necessarily as the goal, but rather the intention is to investigate whatever is here and learn to bring a kind of acceptance to it and then decide what we need to do next.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for this time and being here again. It is always a pleasure and always a joy. And I always learn something new. I hope everybody else did. Let's remind people of your website. It's mindfulnessstudies.com. And tell me a little bit about what you do.
Oh, well, right now we're running our second series of Managing Mindfully in an Uncertain World. It's a Pay What You Can on Tuesdays from 12:30 to 1:30. But we offer programs in mindfulness-based cognitive therapy and mindfulness-based stress reduction, 8-week programs. They're online. Everything's online now. So if people are feeling particularly anxious or stressed, it is one way to be in community, although it's online. and a chance to learn to work with mindfulness and meditative practice to be able to handle these stressful times and difficult mind and mood states.
All right, mindfulnessstudies.com, Dr. Pat Rockman. Thank you so much again. Appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me, Kevin.
All
Anytime.
right, take care. Have a great
Okay,
evening.
bye now.
Thank you so much. It's always great to talk with her, and it's always great to really push, or not push, I shouldn't say push, but just sort of tell people about meditation and its benefits. Time to talk goat right now. We've had a lot of calls to the goat line today, so let's have a listen to some of them, shall we?
Hello, Isolators, and I want to just take this moment to say thank you to Kevin and Parker for doing what they do at 7 o'clock. And as for Errol, I hope I said that right. He's awesome. You've got to have him back on.
Our guest yesterday.
I'm looking forward to that. And you all have a great day, and I'll see you tonight. My name's Linda.
Our guest yesterday, Errol Lawrence.
Hi, Kevin. Last night's speaker, apologized, quite profound. And when he was talking about childhood trauma, I reflected and I remembered as a young child, we were on our way back from African lion safari, and we were hit by a gravel truck, our school bus, and the school bus veered off the road into a farmhouse.
Wow.
Quite a few of the children on the bus were taken to the hospital. So I have to think about that one, because maybe that's the start of all my issues in my world. Anyway, cheers for what you do. Take care, all the best, and be safe. Thank you.
I hope you do. I hope you look into that, for sure.
Hi, Kevin. My name's Mary, and I like to do things to keep myself occupied. The latest thing I did is these inspirational rock stone things, and sometimes I put signs up in the window, different things like that, just to be positive. And I love the little kid videos on YouTube, too, who some of them have exceptionalities, and they're so inspirational. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. We love you, watching you. Anyway, Bob and I love your show. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks to you and Bob. She's talking about the Toronto Student Media Network on YouTube. Check them out.
Hi, Isolators. It's Diana. Just wanted to say thanks for bringing Errol Lawrence to the show. I love listening to things that make me think, and this show was certainly thought-provoking. I think anything that brings us along the path to enlightenment and an understanding of our personal spirit can only be beneficial. The more I reflect on Errol's words, the more questions I have, but at the same time I feel more at ease and at peace. I hope we can have him return soon as a returning guest on the show. All right, so anyway, stay safe, everyone. Looking forward to meditating with you all. Remember, we're stronger together.
Darn
have a good one.
We are.
Bye.
Or it's darn tootin'.
Hi, this is Shauna Parr, and my message for today is, if there is one thing that this COVID isolation time has taught me, it's to slow down and just be in the moment. You don't have to think about what you have to do next or what's going to have to be done later. Just relax, enjoy where you are and what you're doing. Just little things. One of my favorite is story time with my grandchildren via Zoom. There's nowhere else I'd rather be except with them in person, but if I can't be there in person, at least I can see their little faces and hear their little giggles. That, to me, is what COVID-19 isolation has brought to me. The time to sit back, reflect, and just enjoy being. It's great. It's take a deep breath and just enjoy while we can before we have to get back into that crazy rat race business that goes on out there. Enjoy the time now and make special time for yourself. Have a great day. Bye.
There's socks in. That's the goat line. Thanks to everybody who called into the goat line, and I invite you any time of a day. We'll go back to having them on live again in the next few days, but right now, anytime you want to talk about anything at all, call the goat line. What's that number, Parker? 647-793-GOAT. That's 647-793-4628. And if you are new to the program, it's just because it was the only thing we could find that spelled something and made it easier. And then, of course, this is Goatee Day 3. I don't know how it's supposed to be trimmed. Like, does it go further down? I don't know. I have no idea. Parker has one, but he won't show it. But yeah, so it's getting there. I'm shaving here, but not here. Okay, I just want to say one more thing, and then I will let you all go. And I want to address what happened in Trinity Bellwoods Park. It has been the talk of Canada, and Toronto's gotten a bad name for it, and it was trending on social media. And if you're not familiar with it, let me just call up one quick picture here, probably from Twitter. Let me see. Trinity. Whoops. Can't spell. Trinity Bellwoods. Let's see. Okay. So if you hadn't seen it, there you go. I just put that up there. Yeah, there's a lot of people, and people were not social distancing. So it was the talk of everything. And so I was trying to think, well, what do I think of this? There's a lot of people. It was a beautiful day. They'd been cooped up so long, and got together in a park. Yeah, mostly young people. And then the thing is that everybody called them selfish and they didn't care. So that's not what we do on the Isolators, right? We don't judge. We don't get negative. So this is such a great lesson for all of us. Let it go. What happened, happens. You cannot control it. From what I understand, that's not going to happen again. The bylaw officers are now going to be out there. I'm sure they were busy elsewhere at the time. But remember, we've talked about this several times. If you can't control it, let it go. Stop complaining about it. If you want to make a comment, say it's better if these people didn't do that, and maybe advise the city, hey, maybe you should have some bylaw officers there. That's fine. But to go and call them selfish, to go and complain about it, and then forward stuff on social media and reply to it and retweet and repost, it's not going to do you one bit of good. In fact, it's going to do exactly the opposite to you. It is going to stress you out, and you don't want to do that. So when things like this happen, can you control it? That's the first question you ask. Do you have any control over that? No. Are those your kids? If they're your kids, you have a little bit of control over it. You can say, were you in the park? Well, don't do that again. It's not a good thing. But no, if you cannot control it, let it go. Stop complaining about it. For the most part, they're going to be fine. No, it shouldn't happen. It will have us perhaps backtracking a bit, but you can't control it. You can't do anything about it. What you can control is your reaction. You can control your negativity. Get rid of it. Don't complain about it, even on social media. We talked about this weeks ago. Turn off the news and stop posting things negative on social media. And it will go a long way to helping your own anxieties and stress. As tough as it can be, live and let live. They were enjoying a beautiful day. They were out there. It is my fervent hope that nobody will get infected because of it. That's what I hope. But I can't control any more than that. And I'm not going to get frustrated about it and up in arms about it. And I hope you don't either. I hope you let things like this go. And it's not just Toronto. It happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. So take it for what it's worth. So give me a call on the GOAT line. Send suggestions, messages, videos. I haven't seen a lot of pictures and videos in a while. So please send them in. firstaidforyourmentalhealth@gmail.com, or you can send them via Messenger or through Twitter or through Instagram. I'm trying to find a way to broadcast on Instagram, and I have an app to do it. It's just not working for me. So I have to work on that. If anybody works for the Yellow Duck app company, yes, the Yellow Duck app company, can you please help me out? For some reason, it will not connect. So that's why, because I want to get onto Instagram as well. I don't know how much longer we're going to be doing this show together. I'm gonna hate to say goodbye when it's finally over. So we'll see. We'll be through it together. We're all in this together, aren't we? So thanks for joining me this evening. Parker, thanks you as well. Alexa, turn off studio lights. There we go. That's nice. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself and take care of each other.
COVID-19, why you do this to me? I really don't like being stuck in quarantine. I have no toilet paper, I don't even have a snack. Hey, coronavirus, I want my life back. Well,